Hey guys, we are at camp today with a bunch of old staff members and then AJ and they're not AJ, a bunch of old staff members and Emily, Emily and Eric. So we're just filming this for the memories right now. We got AJ Meldick, say hi AJ.
What's up?
We got
about 7, Maddie be about 5:30.
the OG Dylan here.
What it do, baby?
We got Sammy. We got Dustin, the craziest staff member that ever got here and probably the reason I almost got kicked off staff a couple times. We got Amanda. She almost died once, but she was supposed to be this year's PC.
She's actually next year's PC too.
Yeah, she's next year's PC. So expect to be seeing her. I don't know why I'm saying expect. I'm not putting this on YouTube. I'm not uploading this.
Are you sure? I mean,
but like,
you're not uploading it.
If I'm uploading it. So anyway, I'm not monetized, so I can say whatever I want to hear. We're hiking to Canters and then Boone and Black Rock right now, so y'all stick with us.
Oh.
How's the first hill, Amanda?
Great.
How's the first hill, AJ?
Rounds of shape.
How's the first hill, Dustin? Emily, how was the first hill? How's the first hill?
Not the worst I've ever had. I mean, come on.
Not the worst.
Go out west to the mountains. No, thank you. Well, I mean, yes.
This is my 16th summer at Canter's Cave. Had to stay out here for at least one night just to claim that. So if we were at camp with Vinton County,
that's called a plant.
If we were at camp with Vinton County this year, I would have 16 beads. So that's pretty lit. AJ?
I have like just as many as you, -1.
Yeah, so you're what, like 15?
Yeah. Oh, that too.
Tell them the camp stories on the trail because one, it breaks up the hike and makes me not run out of breath. And for two, it brings back the old times. But first I want to say, Emily, first time hiker at Canter's Cave, figured out what stinging nettle is.
Hi, Emily.
How's it feel?
It sucks.
It sucks. So it kind of sucks. But anyway, here's the story. So this cave, I like to stop and talk about the geography, or the geology, my bad, because my degree is in geology, so I know a lot about it. But I always tell the kids that these holes up here in the roof were created way back in the dinosaur age by a little bird that flew around and pecked holes in the rock. It was the ancestor to the modern day woodpecker, called a stonepecker. And then I always have to tell them, like, hey, that's just a story, it's not true. When the glaciers melted and ran through the it carved out the valleys, and then all the it does that.
Okay.
All the soft sediments in the rocks got washed out, and the hard sediments got left behind, leaving the pockets. Next up will be the Canter story. I'll get to that in a minute. So just for the little back history, Amanda was supposed to be PC this year, and she will be next year. She's also been on staff for 2 years prior. Emily's a newbie to camp. Sam was on staff for 2 years. Dustin was on staff for a year. Dylan was a staffer for a year. 1 year. And he was a camper at team camp and shooting sports camp. And I camped for 15 years. I was on staff for 3, and one of those years I was the program coordinator. And I've been on staff with everybody here that's on staff. So I am the bridge between all these people. I like to claim myself. They usually, for some reason, I end up being the one in charge, even though I shouldn't be. Later today, we're also going to see who? Maddie, Emily Rosen, and Josh?
I don't think Emily's coming.
Sam, is Emily coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie, Josh, and Emily Rosen. We're going to see them later too. So we'll get around to that. But right now, we're going to try to hike up this huge freaking hill back to Canter's Cave. So we're back here at Canter's Cave, but I want to point something out that me and AJ just saw. It's this tree here with the little blue flag on it. Those are hemlock trees, eastern hemlock trees that have been treated for, what was it called, AJ?
The woolly or adelphids.
Adelgids.
Adelgids, yeah.
Yeah, hemlock woolly adelgids. It's a little bug that kills the plants. So those ones have been vaccinated against it. They've been found to have been infected with it and then have been vaccinated against it. And we're going down the steepest part of the trail. Dustin's there to help me, but I'm probably not going to use it because
I'm here for the support.
I think how many times have I hiked this? Anyway, I'll tell you the story here in a minute.
This makes me happy. So happy right now.
All right, guys, I want to tell this one like we've actually just hiked back here with your kids. Welcome to Canter's Cave. This is the cave that we are named after. This cave is one of the largest rock shelters on camp. It's like I said, it is Canter's Cave. There's usually water flowing through that hole up there, but unfortunately it's summer, so the water's dried up. Mostly hasn't rained the last couple days. The story behind Canter's Cave led to the naming of the course of the whole camp. So it's mostly true. I say mostly. But way back in the day, there was a guy named Thomas Canter, and he was in the army right after the Civil War, or right after the Revolutionary War. I don't know, can't remember.
Whoa!
I think right after the Revolutionary War, and after he got out of the army, he worked as a surveyor for a while, and he surveyed a lot of southern Ohio. Anyway, Thomas Canter surveyed southern Ohio a lot, and when he got done, he decided he would settle down in a little town called Poplar Row, which is now modern-day Jackson. Jackson's a town that is about 10 minutes southeast of us. It is also our address here at Canter's, 1362 Caves Road, Jackson, Ohio. But anyway, Thomas settled down there, and he decided that he would make his farm down there. He had a family, all that kind of stuff. In this time, in the early 1800s, there was a lot of religious movements going around, and one of them was that soon the world would be ending. And a lot of people in the early 1800s believed that the world was going to end, kind of like Y2K or 2012.
2020.
Or Corona, 2020 Corona.
Modern days.
Yeah. But anyway, a lot of people thought the world was going to end, and Thomas kind of bought into this. And one night, Thomas had a dream, and in that dream, an angel came to him and said, "Thomas, the world is going to end. You need to take your family and anybody that'll go with you to the most peaceful place you can think of and wait for the world to end." And Thomas got to thinking when he woke up, and he thought of the most beautiful place, the most peaceful, natural place he can think of. And it happened to be this cave here. And of course, at that point in time, it had a big roof, so all this area up here was all closed in. And so Thomas started talking to his family and his friends, and he got a group of people, and they all hiked out here. They left behind their house, they sold the farms, everything, and they all hiked out here to wait for the world to end. And on the night that the world was supposed to end, a big storm came. And Thomas told his people, said, "Yes, this is the time that the world is going to end. The storm is going to end the world." So they put on their white robes to wait for the world to end, and they prayed all day. And of course, the next morning, what happened? AJ, what happened?
They didn't die.
The world didn't end.
World didn't end. Sun came up over the hill. World did not end.
Bruh.
So, bruh. So Thomas's friends were like, "Bruh, the world's not going to end. Like, you're crazy." And they all hiked on out of here back to their farms in Poplar Row or Jackson. But his wife and kids were like, "We just got the date wrong. We're going to wait out for a little longer." A couple weeks go by, and another big, huge storm comes. I'm talking like hurricanes and lightning, very, very frightening type of stuff. Okay. Big storm comes. And, yeah, you got that?
Yeah, I got that.
And Thomas is like, "This is it, guys. We got to get prepared again." And they got their robes on. They prayed all day, and they waited for the world to end. Of course, the next morning, the sun came back up. We're all still here, so of course the world didn't end. And Thomas's wife was like, "Listen, man, this ain't looking too good. It's looking like the world's probably not going to end. I got to take the kids back home." So Thomas's wife and kids hiked on out of here, but Thomas decided he was going to stay out here. And months go by, Thomas living out here on the land. And one night, again, massive storm, thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening.
And the world ended.
No. Hurricanes, tornadoes, all that
Hurricanes.
kind of stuff. I don't know how a hurricane happens in Ohio. But
Magic.
It is the end of the world.
but the world was looking like it was going to end. So Thomas got his stuff on and was waiting for the world to end. Next morning, the sun came up, and his wife and kids in town were like, "Man, that was a really big storm. Maybe we should go check on Dad, check on old Pop." So they hiked back out here, got their little carts, and came back out here to check on old Pop. And when they got out here, all the rocks had collapsed down here where they are now.
Ooh.
And Thomas was nowhere to be found.
Spoopy.
So because Thomas was nowhere to be found, a couple theories arose as to what happened with him.
He's probably dead.
One,
No.
he
He's a
ran off
ghost.
because he was too ashamed of being called crazy. Two, Native Americans captured him and took him hostage, which was a common thing back in the day. Three, he was eaten by wild animals. Or 4, when all the rocks fell, they squished them flat.
That's probably the most.
Instead of flat Stanley, it's flat Canter.
Which rock?
Probably the one I'm standing on. Oh, storytelling rock.
I was gonna say.
Bruh.
But anyway,
Probably not that
when
one.
they
It's the end of that one.
when they fell and squished them, there's a good chance the body's still here because we've never found the body. So I could be standing on the bones of Thomas Canter to this very day. So anyway, that part is all historically accurate. You can go through the records, find a guy named Thomas Canter that had a farm in Jackson, Ohio, and that he had surveyed around this area. We can prove that. This is where the ghost part, the not so true part of the story comes in. Legend says if you come back here on a dark and stormy night, much like the night that Thomas died, and you stand up on this rock over here, and you look over here towards the waterfall, you can still see the ghost of Thomas Canter standing up there with his arms held open wide,
T-posing us.
waiting for the world to end.
Oh.
So a lot of questions I get on this hike are about nature, and like I said, I'm a very nature-oriented person. My major
Don't
is
get fat, it sucks. Tip to the wise.
my degree is in earth and environmental sciences. You can go first, Dylan.
Okay.
So a lot of times I get questions about why is that creek orange? Well, I tell kids like, hey, do you remember the story about Thomas Canter, how he got squished? And I say when the rocks squished him, they squeezed all the blood out of him, and now the creek runs blood red with the blood of Thomas Canter, which is of course a lie. What actually happened is a lot of the rocks in Jackson County have a high iron content, and the iron washes out, and that's what happens when iron oxidizes. It turns orange like rust. So a lot of the creeks are orangish tint to them in the summer because they don't flow quite as much to wash all the iron out. So the iron just builds up and oxidizes. But yeah, that's what happens. Man, they're really making me tell all the stories today.
Hey, you said you wanted to, my man.
He's right.
All you, cat boy.
AJ, you want to do this one?
No.
No?
No.
So as you guys know, back in the day, there was dinosaurs that walked this here land. And those dinosaurs, sometimes they died and they fossilized. And back in the day, there was this giant, huge turtle creature that walked and lived among the hills of southern Ohio. Excuse me, Emily. And we have fossil evidence that one died here. As you can see up there, this Turtle Head rock, that big old rock sitting up there. Y'all point at it to me. It's up there. And so that is the fossilized head of an ancient prehistoric turtle. And I'm pretty sure if you go up there and look behind it, there's the whole rest of the shell. At least that's what I've been told.
It's up there.
It's up there. Pretty sure it's up there. I've been up there. Big old rock. Big old fossilized rock. Now I gotta catch up with Sam and Amanda. This is the hard way. That is the easy way.
Easy way's not that easy.
No, the easy way still really isn't that easy. Up here looking like they're about to shoot the next hottest rap album of 2020. Jesus.
You got Wingman and Mullet Man.
What?
Mullet Man, baby, what it do?
Y'all, I got some big time news right now. This man just showed up.
Hello.
What's your name?
I don't know, Josh.
Just Josh. Just call him Josh. He does not have pronouns. It's just Josh. Huh?
I'm an Apache helicopter.
He identifies as an Apache helicopter. We got Josh. We got Maddie. Maddie, say hi. Maddie, how long you camped at 4-H camp? At Camp Canter's Cave, I mean.
About 11 years.
11 years. Josh, how many years you camped at camp?
Since I was 5.
Since he was 5, so he's about where I am right now. Josh, how many years you on staff?
Huh?
How many years on staff?
1.
He was on staff for 1 year. He was a program coordinator. So, like I said, we got like staff and camp, and then Emily. So, we're gonna try to finish our hike here in a minute. Guys, we're going back on the second part of our hike. We picked up Josh. We lost a couple of the girls. We almost lost AJ, but here he is.
Listen, I've done this so many times.
That was me.
So we picked. We're gonna try to finish the hike to Boone and Black Rock.
Every.
We're gonna hike past a couple of the cabins too, and we'll show you them. Y'all stick with. This is B-frame. This is the boys' staff cabin, or at least it used to be. It might be the next summer. I'm not really sure. That's where me, this guy, and that guy lived while we were on staff. The first 2 years at least. No, I didn't. AJ didn't live there.
I lived in Igloo.
We're gonna get to Igloo here in a minute. As you guys can see, the
This tree fell in Igloo. Or Igloo. B-frame.
Oh wow, neat.
camps
Tree fell in B-frame.
when there's no kids here, the trails get a little rough because you know nobody uses them. But you know, coronavirus, so whatever. Yeah, what's that building down there?
That's the Igloo cabin.
That's the Igloo cabin. I don't know if I can get a good look at it from here.
Let's go down there.
I don't want to walk all the way down there and walk back up the hill. Anyway, that's where me and this guy and one other guy lived last year.
I lived on a couch.
We slept on 2 couches.
It was great.
Kind of cuddled.
No, not really.
Not really. We also killed a mouse with a crossbow, so that was cool. So Amanda was asking how many steps I have, but she forgot that I worked this morning. I currently have 13,000 steps. Going on 14,000. All right, y'all, we have made it back to Boone's Cave.
Oh yeah, bud.
I'm gonna go the up way. You can go the down way if you want.
Or make it just the gambling part.
I'm gonna go the up way. The up way is historically a staff-only route.
Which way are we supposed to walk? Down.
Down.
Go down, baby around. Sugar going down swinging. Copyright.
At some point in time, I will hit my head off the rock. It just happens every time. Hey, Amanda, it's your turn to tell a story. I need you to come up here, stand right here where I can see you. And I'm gonna pop a squat.
No squat.
All right, I need you to tell us where we are, what kind of formation this is, and the story.
Well, look good from this.
Okay, let's do this interview style, Josh. Where are we at, Amanda?
We're at Boone Cave.
All right, boys.
What happened here?
Daniel Boone was running from Native Americans when he fell off the side of the cliff, trying to get away from them. When he fell, he broke his legs, and the Native Americans thought that he wouldn't survive, but he climbed his way, pulling himself up to a little ledge.
It says it right there, kind of. It needs to be. Josh, make it new.
I can't do that. I'm not a miracle worker. It says B O O N E.
So this is Boone Cave. Amanda, what kind of tree is that there? Would you like to phone a friend? Has 2 words. One of them is the greatest country on earth.
Dead tree. Russia?
American chestnut.
Hey.
Time ago.
AJ, when did it die?
It died. It was 100 years
Today,
ago,
Junior.
and it's 200 years. It's 200 years older than that.
It died in about 1926. They dated it too, and it was about 200 years old when it died.
Right.
So
That's what I said.
this tree has been here for about 300 years, roughly.
Well, it was probably up there first.
No, it's right there because the
Yeah, the roots.
Right there,
So
yeah.
the only reason it's still alive is because it's leaning on the tree, or not the tree, the rock. So it's well preserved when it's not on the ground. If it's on the ground,
It's the last standing American.
Thank you,
chestnut tree.
Josh. It is the last standing American, full-blood American chestnut
Really?
east of the Mississippi, because the chestnut blight wiped them all out, and it's not really alive anymore, but it's standing. All right, boys, we made it to Fat Man Squeeze. I don't know if that's PC anymore, but politically correct. The only one we're worried about is Dylan.
Here's Chungus.
And the fungus gets in there and kills it.
Oh, he made it.
Untouched, baby.
See, you're not fat yet.
It's the chestnut.
Tell that to this.
Chestnut blight. It's called the chestnut blight, or the American chestnut.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
There's a nest somewhere around here. And Sarah said it was screeching at him yesterday.
There's a nest over here? Mm-hmm. What kind of bird is that, Amanda?
Turkey vulture.
That's supper, boys.
He's just chilling.
We're gonna be.
He went flying away. Okay.
No, that's.
All right, yeah, AJ.
All right.
First of all, where are we at?
We are Black Rock Cave. Well, the upper part of it. It's not really a cave. It's more just a rock overhang. But right here, it's hard to see. But I'm assuming he'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, I'll get a close
You
up.
got a couple of what we call petroglyphs here. Basically, it's vandalism, but it's old. carved in the rock here, you got a couple of things. You have a name, you have a bird, and a butterfly, and a date.
What's the name, AJ?
The name is, I believe it's J.W. Spanabel. J.W. Spanabel. And there's actually 3 to 4 of these petroglyphs across camp. And we know where 2 of them are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Apparently Jason knows where one is too and he won't tell us.
No, that's the one where Jason told us was
Okay,
back in the...
okay.
Wait, okay, so if you don't know where they are, how do you know that they exist?
Because they are actually have been documented before. People have found them before.
Oh.
And those people are dead.
Neat.
Yeah. So the
Well-
date actually says 6/6/98, and we know it's not 1998
Because people
we
were
have
here.
People here. So we think it's 1898, and that'd be June 6th of 1898. And this fellow, we actually think there was 2 of them, a father and a son, on another rock that we found on the other side of camp. I believe it was just J. Spanabel. It wasn't J.W. Spanabel. Or
It was like J.W. Spanabel or something.
Yeah, it was different, but the designs were still the same. There's something right here too, but I can't remember. Calico?
I think it's Calico Cave. I think this used to be called Calico Cave.
Okay.
He's still there?
But we actually don't know if
Or Calico Falls, one of the two.
if the people actually did these or they just wrote their names where they found them. We actually can't really scan it or anything because if you see the lichen and the fungus moss on the rock, it actually preserves it from being washed away because this is real soft stone. It's sandstone.
What kind of sandstone?
I don't know. It's sandstone.
Blackfoot sandstone.
Blackfoot sandstone. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Then learn something
Alright.
every day.
You done?
Yeah, I
Alright.
don't have anything else.
All right, cool. I'll get the. Okay, guys, so we were just talking. Josh brought it up, and Josh brought up that out of all the people here that were on staff, at least half of us have been to the hospital because of camp. Josh, what happened to you?
I was playing capture flag and I was running full sprint. My ankle just popped. I was like, yeah, it's all right. And then I couldn't walk on. I hit the ground. And they took me to the hospital. I had a softball-sized swell on my ankle right here.
Amanda, what happened to you?
I was running along pond wall, slipped and cut my knee open.
Show us the scar, Amanda.
You really don't.
What did you fall onto?
A rock.
Hey, don't you still have the rock, Amanda?
Yes, I do.
Sam fell through a log on a canoe trip, and her knee was swelled up. She couldn't walk on it.
Did you get stuck underneath it?
That was me. I almost drowned. I almost drowned once, but I didn't go to the hospital for that.
Hey, tell them the best story about Dylan.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
By far the craziest one.
Dylan, what happened to you, bud?
Who's Dylan? Oh wait, that's me. So, I woke up to go do a polar bear swim one morning, and I'm like, man, my hips hurt. So, I took some ibuprofen, went lifeguarded, felt fine up until lunch. I'm like, man, my hips hurt again. So I went and popped some more ibuprofen. And then in the afternoon, I was teaching line dances, I think.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's been 3 years, dude.
It had, oh my God. I'm pretty sure I was teaching line dances, Costin and Joe. I was doing the kicks, and I landed, and I fell on the ground like this. And 3/4 of the kids fell. I was like, this is awesome. I said, go get the nurse. Went to the doctor the next day after camp was over. Sciatica in both hips, because I slept on it raw.
So everybody else has got these great stories.
Here's a PSA. Don't sleep wrong, and you won't get sciatica.
Don't sleep at camp.
He really woke up on the wrong side of the
The
bed.
time I went to the hospital, I got really sick one day. I just had a fever, and I kept working through it.
Because you were sick all summer.
And yeah, because I just thought I was sick all summer because I had been kind of sick. But I literally, for 2 days, I couldn't do anything. I slept on the couch and didn't move. So finally, I was like, I gotta go to the hospital. And they did a blood test and put me on, I don't know, 2 kind of drugs. And my blood test came back a couple days later. I had Rocky Mountain spotted fever from ticks. And they said, it's a good thing you caught that, because if you didn't get it, you could have died in a couple weeks. So yeah, that was fun. But we're all still here. We're all still alive. nobody's ever died at camp besides Thomas Canter. So these little red flower here, they usually grow all along here. You can see a bunch of them, but there's usually
endangered.
Are they endangered?
I'm pretty sure they're endangered.
Are they?
They're the fire lilies, aren't they? Or is that what they're called?
The jack in the box.
They're definitely not the jack. So they're either, we're not really sure. There's two flowers that are really closely related. They are either fire pink
Yeah, that's what they
or
are.
Indian paintbrush. And we're not really sure because, you know, I'm not a genius, but they're the same genus, but different species. And we're not really sure what they are, but they might be endangered.
I'm pretty sure that Dave said they were endangered.
Okay. They're really pretty though.
They only grow a certain time of the year in certain conditions, and this just happens to be the right conditions.
Yeah.
They'll actually, whenever the sun gets on them more, all these little pods right here
Will open back
actually
up.
open back up. I don't know why that one's still open other than for...
It's probably, I just haven't closed yet. All right, let's go. You're good.
So right over here, so what camp used to be like a big carnival. So people would come out, do the hikes, have fun, do whatever. So over here we used to have a wishing well. So wishing well, it looked like it was just like a hole in the wall, it had a square, it had a little layer, a little bar type area. You could toss your money in it, and it was like just a basic wishing well. Well, back in 2013, we had a huge storm come through, and these rocks, they used to be all the way up there. So this huge storm was able to knock these rocks down and just have an avalanche on the wishing well. So somewhere beneath all of this rubble is our old wishing well. And they tried to like send in a little, I don't even know what you call it, a little doohickey snake thing to see if they could find like any of the money or find the wishing well, and they couldn't find it. So we're assuming it's like completely.
So you're saying
underneath
there's
the rock.
money?
Yeah.
There should be. Y'all,
No, it's cat.
this here is Shelby Speed Campbell. She was on staff with me for 1 year.
Yes.
What county are you from?
I am from Benton County.
And how'd you get the nickname Speed?
From a game that we played, and I kept saying speed because of dial, because of speed dial.
The answer is because she's an idiot. But yeah, that's Shelby. Get her done, boys. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah.
son.
This is literally what staff's like every day. Like I know I haven't been on staff for a year, but this is what it is. Am I wrong, Amanda? We struggle to do the basic things, and then Amanda laughs about it for an hour.
Let's go, boys!
All right, guys. So we're out here doing some little bit of community service. You know, give back to camp for the day, and we're gonna repaint some of the bottom of the pool. So y'all stay tuned for that. It'll work. It'll work.
It'll buff.
She'll buff out. All right, guys. So like I said, thank you. See, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why I can't have a good video.
This is why we have ants.
We've came up with a name for our group. We're going to be the Bigfoot Association, and we're going to try to outdo the Alumni Association, which is never going to happen because they're much well funded than us, and they're all retired, so they have nothing better to do with their lives than help with camp. We actually have stuff to do, but we're going to try to outdo the Alumni Association every year. This year, we helped paint the bottom of the pool, and y'all stick with us, and we'll see what we do next year.
Yay! See ya!